Hey everybody, welcome back to Dirt Grease Outdoor Peace. Been away for a little while on a bit of a hiatus from YouTube, but just haven't been filming anything. I've been busy as usual around the property with work and everything, and yeah, just kind of got out of the groove for a little bit, and just got a little blast of winter here. It's Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day to everybody out there that served our country, and hope that everybody has a good day and gets out and enjoys the holiday. And I know there's a lot of things that the veterans can do as far as breakfast and lunch and different things like that. People offer free things for veterans, and hopefully all the veterans go out and take advantage of that and get a little something for what they did for the country. And there's a lot of people out there that appreciate the time and the sacrifice for that. So I've been doing some lanolin based undercoating in my garage here while we've had some colder, wetter weather come in and the property maintenance has slowed down. I've been trying to boost the checkbook a little bit with some undercoating, and things have been going pretty good. The garage has worked out good here, although for the first couple weeks when I was doing it, I was running my 57 in and out, and I just didn't have time to get my lift set up again. I had early this, I don't know if it was spring or summer, when I went to go get my car down, I raised it up all the way and then set it down on the locks. Well, when I went to go raise it up off the locks, it raises up a little bit and then it kind of maxes out, and there was a hydraulic line that goes all the way all the way across the top of the lift from the pump, and there's a T, and it goes from the T all the way across the top and down to the other cylinder. And where it goes across the corner on the top, it had rubbed through. So when I hit that max, the max part of the lift on that, and it maxed out, it had sprayed. It's got transmission fluid in it, is what they use for the hydraulics. Sprayed that all over the place. Luckily there's a tarp on top of the cover, and I don't think there was anything over here, but it just sprayed training fluid all over the place. So I got that line fixed, and I got my car put up and put away. So anyways, what I need to do now that we've got this blast of winter, I did a bunch of undercoatings, and now I need to get my truck ready. These summer tires that have been good for a couple years, they can barely get me around in wet grass and two-wheel drive. And as much as I don't want to burn up my good winter tires, I just don't want to get in on any ice or in a spot where I'm gonna put myself in danger. So it's time to get these on, and now I can do everything in one shot on this. What I need to do is pull the wheels and tires off. This is a LTZ Z71, so it's got these carpeted type liners, wheel well liners. I pull the liners out so I can coat everything real good, get it up in the air. And then I have this thing is 8,300 pounds, I think. So when I get it up in the air, I have these tall safety stands. So I put one in the front and the back, and just as a little extra precaution. So I went to the dealer and I got a transmission filter, an internal filter, and a pan gasket. Oh, I need to get fluid. Oh man, I forgot to get fluid. Shoot, I'll have to figure that out. So I need to do a transmission service on this. I've changed this is got an Allison transmission on it. It has a spin-on filter, and I've changed that a couple times. And but I've never changed the fluid. I've been wanting to. I've had this truck for 5 years now, and now that it's got 190 some thousand miles on it, and I don't do commercial plowing. I don't do a lot, heavy commercial plowing. I do have several driveways that I do, and then the property that I maintain, they have a couple big driveways, so I want to make sure that I take care of the transmission on this thing. I'm sure that fluid is overdue. It's easy to overlook something like that. And we got to undercoat it. And last year I did PFC, the lanolin based undercoat, and I had a little bit of that left. And then when I was getting set up for this year, they had fluid film on sale at Napa, so I bought a couple buckets of fluid film. And so when I get ready to do that, I'll show you guys what things look like after several years of having this thing sprayed, and of course our nasty salty roads out there, what they do. Show you not that I'm an expert by any means, but it's just kind of a little system that I came up with, and it seems to be working out pretty good. So I'll show you that when I get set up. So I'll get the wheels and tires and the wheel well liners out of this thing, and then we'll raise it up and get started. Thanks for clicking on the video. Thanks for watching, and let's get to work. Well, it's not terrible. It doesn't smell bad at all. I think somebody was doing maintenance on this thing, because that looks pretty good. Feels good to take care of this stuff though. What I want to show you under here is a lot of the frame looks like that. It's still got a really nice sticky coating on there. There's some of this stuff where it didn't get either washed off or didn't stick on there that well. So it all looks pretty good. There's some stuff that looks like I gotta make sure it gets a good coating on here. One thing I'm gonna do is go around with a blowgun and blow this flaky stuff off so I get a good coating on there. But I took all the fender liners out. This is the coating from last year. You can see that stuff it feels dry on the outside because it's got some dirt stuck to it, but underneath it's still tacky. It's nice to get all that stuff coated. You can see all where it's got some nice dirt sticking to it. It actually holds up really well. The metal on that fifth wheel hitch keeps flaking really bad and rust jacking, and you can see underneath there, I think that's all rust jacking, so I gotta try to blow that out. Most of it looks pretty good though. This is just all stuff that this stuff here takes the brunt of the weather. There's another spot in there I gotta make sure I blow out real good. See, I've got my safety stands underneath there. This is from last year too, and I just left it on there. I didn't really care. I'd rather see the dirt on there than see it get rusty. Same thing here. Once that stuff got dirt stuck to it, it just doesn't want to come off. Same thing here. I sprayed all that and then put the liners back in, and it's still coated pretty good. The one thing that's kind of bugging me is the wheel wells are going right there. That's where they all go. It's where the seams on the inner and outer bed come together, and if this thing would have had fluid film on the inside of the quarter panel when it was new, that wouldn't happen. But oh well, it's already 9 years old, so it's in pretty good shape for the age. It's starting to bubble on the rockers, and yeah, it's just starting to, well, it's like I said, it's actually in good shape for the age. There's trucks that are this age that the rockers are completely gone yet, so gotta make sure I get up in there real good. And okay, like I said, what I'm using now is fluid film, and this stuff in the jug is it's thick. There is some that separates a little bit, but it is thick and snotty, which is good because once you spray it on and it cools, that's kind of what it returns back to. So I have some in this, I scoop it out of the bucket with one of these quart paint containers. And I probably could even get a little bigger funnel, but this has been working. And I think this one was heated, and then it's sitting there, and it's like, it doesn't even want to come out of the container. So I'll put it back. And then I'll scoop. It would probably work if I scooped up the same stuff, but it's like once you move it a little bit, it kind of wants to flow after that. So I'll just put some in the funnel. And then I just try to shake it down in there. Yeah, it's messy and a little time consuming, but it does a nice job. And this stuff, I thought when I was gonna start spraying this stuff that it was gonna be all over the floor and make a big mess, but wherever you spray it, it sticks. It doesn't drip off. It doesn't make any kind of mess at all. There is a little bit of a haze in the air after, which it isn't bad at all though. It's been this is probably the messiest part. I don't fill them up all the way. I just fill them up towards the top because putting the gun in there takes up a little space. And this stuff was from LakeCityPaint.com, Lake City or Warehouse 9000, and I think it's actually kind of a local. I think the gun. I shouldn't say it was kind of local. I don't know if it's Lake City, Pennsylvania or Lake City, Ohio. Let me see if I can see where it says in there. Warehouse 9000, Lake City Paint Company, Lake City, PA. Been happy with the spray applicator. So this one is filled up, and I got the water bath over here. So get that heating up in the water bath. I'll dump some more in this one. It's like, as soon as this stuff touches the heat from your hand, it starts to liquefy. I'll fill this up, and I'll put this in the water bath too, and then this will be nice and loosened up, and it'll pour through that funnel real easy, so while I'm spraying, I can fill it up and get back to spraying a lot faster. Try to keep the mess managed a little bit. So this is the open nozzle. This just sprays a wide fan pattern. So I save that for the end. So I'll put this is just a straight extension nozzle. So I can get way up in. I do this first. So, let's see, I can go up in the upper locations and reach up through different holes, and then I can even bend it, and I can spray on top of the frame, inside of the frame a little bit if I wanted to get, just spray a bunch inside there. This stuff does creep a little bit. I've been starting up front and then working my way back just so I can keep track of everything. But then I come back and I try to get that stuff real nice and hot so it's good and thinned out, and I do the 360 nozzle inside the cross members, inside the frame, inside some of the brackets and stuff wherever I can get, and then at the end I do the open nozzle, and that's where things get a little bit foggy, and that's where I put a respirator on and open the doors a little bit to ventilate a little bit. So I'll let that stuff cook for a little bit and get loosened up, and then we'll come back and we'll start spraying. Okay, I got my gear all set. I wear the Tyvek suit just because of the hood, and keeps the stuff from getting down my neck, and just easy to cover up your clothes with these cheap suits and gloves. Like I said before, I got the long straight extension nozzle on there, and it's nice to have a good headlight. I've got this rechargeable headlight. They actually have some really good cheap headlights that are rechargeable at Home Depot, like 25-30 bucks, and they actually work good. But I like this long extension nozzle because I can get up on top of stuff. I mean, I can get some of this stuff after once I let the truck down. Once I get everything done, I'll lower the truck down to where I can see into the wheel wells real good, and then make sure I didn't miss anything. But I'll just give you a little demonstration here. So I've only got this set to about maybe 55 psi or so, and it does plenty good. And that's because it's warmed up good. You can see how handy this extension nozzle is to go around and do all those places and help you get into the places where you can't reach with the regular gun, and then we'll come back and do the 360 nozzle and do inside of the whole frame, and just keep plugging away. So I did the transmission service. I just put the pan back on. The inside of the pan was spotless. So I got that put back together. I just have to go get some transmission fluid because I totally forgot. I checked the fluid in the front differential and it's clean and it's full. Same thing on the rear end. The rear end's full. When I checked the transfer case, this is the fill plug up here, and this is the drain plug, and I had to use a long piece of metal to reach down in there, and it feels like the fluid is low, So I cracked the drain plug, and it is it's real dirty, and I see a bunch of stuff on the drain plug. And these transfer cases have transmission fluid in them. So I'm gonna pull this drain plug and let this drain. But I just wanted to show you what that looked like. Drain pad. You can see just a little red tinge to it. But it's yeah, it's pretty dirty. And the drain plug has a big mohawk on it. So let that drain while I go run a couple errands, and at least that'll be serviced. At least I know the differentials are good, that I'll know the transfer case is good, and I won't have any questions that the transmission is going to be clean and ready to go. And it looks like, from what I see in the pan, it looks like somebody actually took care of this thing before, because that thing was spotless. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. One tire that was soft, and I sprayed it with some soapy water, and the valve stem was leaking, and it had a leak around the bead. And I do remember having one tire that had a slow leak on it. So as long as I have to go run and get transmission fluid, I might as well stop over at my buddy's repair shop, and he can break it down and clean things up, put a new valve stem in it, and seal up that bead for me. On the aluminum wheels, they clean them up and then they put a bead sealer on it. It's like it's kind of a thicker glue that they put on them. You usually have trouble with any kind of aluminum wheel with a especially if it's not chrome plated. Like a plain aluminum wheel, you usually have a lot of corrosion around the bead, so those are tricky. And that's why some tire shops don't want to install used tires, because the tires will actually have the corrosion stuck into the bead, so they'll have to clean that up on them. Sometimes the guys don't want to install used tires, especially have people come back and complain about having something that's leaking on them. But he should be able. These do have chrome. I don't know how. Maybe the chrome on the bead isn't in very good shape. But yeah, we'll get that taken care of, and then we'll come back and do some more spraying. I got the wood stove. It's nice and hot. It's warmed up inside the shop here, and so just keep chipping away. Thanks. So now I'm going to do the 360 nozzle, and I've got this stuff nice and hot where it's nice and loosened up. It's going to fog in that inside the frame real good. I'll get another scoop warming up just in case I need it. Oh yeah. Okay, well, I'll keep working my way down through there. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'll do this other hole here too. I'll go back up towards the front. Okay, so now we're just going to put the standard nozzle on there. I think before I was calling it the open nozzle just because it just sprays a big wide fan. So I'll put my mask on and I crack the doors a little bit. Get a little airflow in here. that's it. I got the transmission filled up. I put fluid back in the transfer case and cleaned off the drain plug. Got the one leaky wheel fixed. They put a new valve stem in it and took the tire off of the wheel and cleaned the bead and glued all that back up. I got those on. Yeah, once I get done spraying with the open gun or the open nozzle underneath, then I let it down till the axles are about waist height or so, and then I get what I didn't reach before. Battery died for some reason, although I just plugged it back in. Now it says 70%. I don't know what that's all about. So I think I was saying, so I let it down to the axles are at waist height, and then I spray anything inside there that I couldn't reach really easy before. And then I had to put my wheel well liners in, and that's pretty much it. But the weather is improving, and I'm gonna try to get back out hunting here in a little while. So I appreciate everybody watching. If you take a second, go down and hit that like and subscribe button for me, and leave a comment on what you're working on and what's going on in your neck of the woods. I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.